I don't recall when this came out, but I know when I saw it on a YouTube video, I had to get one. This is it's from a company called GoPole. I I don't know if that's the name of the brand or the name of the kit, but when I saw this being used, I had to get one, and I've used it maybe twice. That's because it's actually not very practical, and you really have to be committed to making videos and looking like a filmmaker or a YouTuber if you've got something like this. However, that said, I can't quite seem to let go of it because it's just a really good, solid design, and I'm sure one day I will regret it if I get rid of that. However, the whole idea of holding an action camera in something that allows you to use it as a traditional camera is something that I've always really liked the idea of. And when Insta360 brought out the Xplorer bundle earlier this year, I went from GoPro to Insta360 for action cams. I'd had the 360 cameras. I still have the 360 cameras, and you're currently watching this on an Insta360 Go Ultra. So I like all that stuff, but for this kind of form factor, I was always GoPro. No longer. My GoPros are gone, and this year I have been rethinking how I use this particular camera and using the Xplorer grip. Now, that meant that when Insta360 produced the Grip Pro kit, or the Xplorer Grip Pro, I just had to get one. I could have waited another couple of weeks and asked for it for Christmas, but I'm a little bit impulsive. So I'm going to do a quick comparison between the two today. Now, as I've just indicated, they allow you to hold the camera in a more traditional way. Rather than holding the camera in this kind of thing between your fingertips or something, you now can hold it in a much more traditional way, like a point and shoot camera, like maybe even a small micro four thirds or something. So that's what these are for. But I'm just going to show you quickly what the difference is between the old one and the new one. So firstly, the old one was just a cage, if you like, that just went around the camera. So you slot the camera in there, it locks it in place. You've got access to the mounts on the bottom, the card and power and everything on this side, and then on the top you have this large mechanical switch, which I really like, and I still like. I really like the design of this. But all that did was, if you can just about see there, it just produced a mechanical action to press the shoot/record button. Really nice, really industrial, and I've really enjoyed using this, and I'm probably still going to use this, perhaps. I don't know, we'll see. The Xplorer Grip Pro has just come out, and it ups the ante a little bit in terms of the functions and clearly the design. You know, we have here really like an industrial design product versus something that now looks much more professional, and yeah, the aesthetics I guess are a little more pleasing. It's going to make it feel a little bit more premium, I think. So what's the difference? As I've said, this one is literally just a mechanical connection to the camera that pushes the shooting button on the top. The new one actually connects via USB-C into the camera. The difference here meaning that actually now you have to take the side cover off, which means the camera is now not fully waterproof. So that's something to be aware of. I don't think that's going to affect me. I'm not diving or swimming in these things, so I'm not too worried about it. So when the camera fits in now, what you have is a electrical connection to the camera. And if I just switch it on, hopefully you'll see it says Xplorer Grip connected. So what we've got now is a much more integrated design. I'm sure you'll agree it actually looks like it could be a finished product all installed like this. Obviously you've still got the ability to flip the screen out if you need to, and yeah, really nice, comfortable little design. One thing to note, because these super wide angled lenses, when you are holding the camera like this, I have found sometimes that my finger does tend to show in the super wide angle views. So that's something that you may notice if you pick up one of these. So other differences: one button on here for recording, what we now have are 3 buttons. So we have a shoot record button here, we have a zoom rocker, zoom in and out, and then we have this assignable switch here, assignable dial here. Now you can assign this to filters, you can assign it to exposure values, you can assign it to ISO, you can assign it to shooting mode, a number of different things. I'm sure that somebody will say that they would like it assigned to something that it hasn't been assigned to, or it hasn't had an option to assign it to, but these are just firmware changes. I'm sure they can be added at a later date. Similarly with this little switch at the front here, I'm not sure that zooming is the right thing, even though this lens has the ability to zoom. I think just cropping the shot afterwards is probably just as good as doing this. So maybe it would be quite nice to use something like this to switch between modes or something. Anyway, really nice. Oh, and finally this bit here is a little cover for a 3.5-inch jack, so you can actually plug in an external microphone and connect to the cold shoe. So really nice, aesthetically pleasing little bundle here. I really like this thing. I think it was £98. I don't think there'll be any Black Friday deals. Probably find deals on this now, if anything. The other difference is the original one came with this really horrible paracord wrist strap, which just, to be honest, I felt just really cheapened the whole experience, but I never used it anyway. I'm not a big fan of wrist straps. The new one comes with a much nicer one, which looks like something that you may get from like PGY Tech or something. This is a much nicer wrist strap. However, I won't be using it because the camera has two little, the kit has 2 loops here for straps, and I like to have one of these on there and have the camera sitting and hanging low like so. Yeah, so that's the Xplorer Grip Pro. Is there anything that I've missed? Yes, there is something I've missed. This not only connects to the camera so that you have these functions here, but also you'll notice here you've got a USB-C port on the side. You can actually charge this up, and well, you need to charge this up actually, and what this does is it will actually provide you a little bit of extra juice to the camera as well if you need to. And you may have noticed a little micro SD slot there. It's for holding a spare one. It's not like for offloading footage or anything, but it will allow you to put a spare one in there if you need it. So yeah, so that's the Xplorer Grip Pro, and I absolutely love it. And I think I will probably be having a look at those lenses in a future video. And well, I need to buy them first, of course, but I think I'll be having a look at those additional lenses as well. But this is lovely, really nice.